All right, guys, thank you for joining me. I'm Kudzanai Tembo, and it's a pleasure to have you. Today is a special edition. As you can see, we dressed up. I'm joined with Mr. Mzangwezi. Thank you for joining us, sir.
Thank you very much.
Okay, so just tell us what we're going to be looking at today.
Yeah, construction sites are very important in terms of the development of any country. And when you do construction, there are many hazards that can exist. So today, as we're going to be doing the audit, we are going to be looking at how workers have got adequate protective clothing that is required for construction sites, because construction sites have got various hazards which are there, falling hazards, that objects can fall on them. So you want to check whether workers have got their safety helmets. Issues of flying debris and also flying objects, we see them at construction sites. So we want to see whether workers also have got safety goggles. Safety shoes, they are very important because also they can be falling objects on the feet. Reflective vests and also work suits for the workers are important for visibility. And in particular, the work suits also help to protect workers against any sharp edges, also protecting them against being bruised. We also, in particular, are looking forward whether there are any safety harnesses which are required for, fall arrest systems to help the workers in case they are going to be falling from heights. We're also looking at the scaffolding that is used at the construction site, whether it's frame scaffolding has been erected by competent people. Also, because construction, there's a lot of excavation that happens. We want to check whether workers are looking at issues of buried hazards which can be under the ground, for example, electric cables, water pipeline, and also in particular whether the risk assessment process is also being done. And through this audit, we are going to be interviewing staff on the construction site. We're also going to be observing how they are working, including issues of lifting. How are they lifting their particular materials, and how are they also lifting other objects, things like cables, and how these things are being placed. Issues of housekeeping, because many accidents happen at construction sites because of poor housekeeping. The control of noise and the provision of PPE for noise, including the earplugs and also the earmuffs. These things are very important so that we can protect construction workers. We can also prevent accidents at construction sites. So this is going to be an exciting audit, and we want to make sure that there's continual improvement. But most importantly, we need to see how workers are implementing the risk assessment process.
Definitely. All right. So what is risk assessment and what are its benefits?
Yeah, risk assessment is a systematic process that is carried out to assess the potential hazards of carrying out a particular task. We have got various types of hazards that exist. We've got physical hazards. We also have got economic hazards that have to look at the work posture of the employee. There are also chemical hazards if chemicals are being used, and also biological hazards. So risk assessment is a process that is carried out before someone does a job, whether you are lifting, whether you are doing bricklaying, whether you're doing carpentry work, or you're doing manual lifting or manual excavation. And you want to then identify the hazards, but also rate them in terms of their probability, in terms of their severity, and also to assess their own significance. But also the risk assessment helps you to come up with control measures for dealing with those particular hazards that you have identified. And it's very important that all the workers who are going to carry out a task, they participate in the risk assessment process so that they know the hazards that they are confronting them in order for them to come up with control measures. So we are promoting the risk assessment process, and in this audit, we also want to see how risk assessment processes is being done. Other companies, they do it in different forms. They've got a daily safety task inspection. Other companies have got what we call a permit to work system, whereby workers cannot work if they don't have a permit to work system. But all these are methods to do risk assessment. You've got what we call baseline risk assessment that is done, at the beginning of a particular project at the baseline to see the hazards which are there. There are also what we call issue-based risk assessments. These are different forms of, identifying hazards and also controlling them. But I think the strong message I want to give to stakeholders is that workers should participate in the risk assessment. And the risk assessment should be site-specific. So we are going to be assessing in this audit to check whether the risk assessment is site-specific. You cannot do a risk assessment away from the site where the work is to be carried out, because the hazards will be specific to the site.
Okay. Thank you, Mr. Mzawezi. We really appreciate your time. I'm personally excited to be, going for this particular audit. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you guys in the next one.